ஹியூமன் anatomy அண்ட் ஃபிசியாலஜியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய ரீப்ரொடக்டிவ் சிஸ்டம் டாப்பிக்கில் இருக்க எம்சிக்யூஸ் தான் வந்து நம்ம இன்றைக்கி டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ண போகிறோம். இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் எம்சிக்யூஸ். ஓகேங்களா? First question. Where are the male ejaculatory ducts? In the testicles before the epidermis, in the penis, between the bulbourethral glands and the urethra, at the end of the vas deferens. Correct answer is option D, at the end of the vas deferens. எல்லா கொஸ்டின்ஸ்க்கான ஆன்சரோட எக்ஸ்ப்ளனேஷன் வந்துட்டு கீழேவே வந்துட்டு இருக்குது, எல்லோரும் ரெஃபர் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. சரிங்களா? ஓகே, நெக்ஸ்ட் கொஸ்டின் பார்க்கலாமா? எக்ஸ்ப்ளனேஷன்ஸ் நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க, ஒன்ஸ் ரீட் அவுட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க எல்லாருமே. நெக்ஸ்ட், வாட் இஸ் தி ஃபங்க்ஷன் ஆஃப் லியூட்டினைசிங் ஹார்மோன்? இட் ஸ்டிமுலேட்ஸ் தி இன்டர்ஸ்டீஷியல் cells to produce testosterone. It stimulates sustentacular cells to produce sperm. It stimulates anterior pituitary to release follicle stimulating hormone. It stimulates ovary to develop follicles. Option A. It stimulates the interstitial cells to produce testosterone. Explanation note பண்ணிக்கோங்க. Next, which statement is true? Male have 2 X chromosomes. Female do not produce any primordial follicles after they are born. Females have 1 X chromosome. Fertilization occurs in the pelvic cavity before the start of fallopian tube. Okay, correct answer is option B. Females do not produce any primordial follicles after they are born. Next. Okay, next question. In which of the following list are the structures of male reproductive tract listed in correct order from testis to urethra? Okay, correct order is seminiferous tubules, epididymis, vas deferens, ejaculatory ducts. Option B தான் வந்துட்டு correct answer. சரியா? Okay. One of the following is not a secondary sex characteristic. Which one? Adult male body shape, the thicker vocal cords of a male, pubic hair, the penis. Correct answer is option D, the penis. Next question. What does gonadotropin releasing hormone do? Stimulates the anterior pituitary to release LH. Stimulates the anterior pituitary to release both LH and FSH. Stimulates the anterior pituitary to release FSH. Stimulates the corpus luteum to release progesterone. Correct answer is option B. Stimulates anterior pituitary to release both LH and FSH. Next question. Where do fertilization of the egg by a sperm occur? In the cervix, in the uterus, in the fallopian tube, in the abdominal cavity between ovary and fallopian tube. ஆப்ஷன் சி, ஃபெலோப்பியன் டியூப். இது வந்துட்டு நிறையா எக்ஸாம்ஸில் கேட்டிருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு சிம்பிள் அண்ட் ஈஸியான கொஸ்டின் தான். இது வந்துட்டு நிறைய கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்ஸில் கேட்டிருக்காங்க, ஸோ நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. நெக்ஸ்ட், விச் ஆஃப் தி ஃபாலோயிங் இஸ் நாட் அசோசியேட்டட் வித் மேல் ரீப்ரொடக்டிவ் சிஸ்டம்? ஈஸ்ட்ரோஜன்ஸ், ஆண்ட்ரோஜன்ஸ், FSH and LH, the tunica vaginalis. Correct answer is option A, estrogen. Next, which of the listed structures does the male reproductive tract pass through? Options: the prostate, the bulbourethral gland, seminiferous vesicles, the bladder. Option A, prostate. Next, where is the hormone progesterone produced? By the thecal cells that surround the follicle, in the anterior pituitary, in the corpus luteum, by the developing follicle. Option C, in the corpus luteum. Okay, next question. Below is a list of structures a hormone that they might produce. Which list is correct? கரெக்டான லிஸ்ட் எது அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு கேட்குறாங்க. ஹைப்போதலமஸ், anterior pituitary, follicle estrogens, corpus luteum progesterone. ஆப்ஷன் டி தான் வந்துட்டு கரெக்ட் ஆன்சர். What is the name of the tube that carries sperm from the testis to the prostate gland? vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, seminiferous tubule, urethra. Option A, ductus deferens. Okay, next. What effect does luteinizing hormone have? It stimulates the growth of few follicles each month, stimulates ovulation and maintains the corpus luteum. It prepares the uterus for pregnancy. It establishes and maintains the secondary sex characteristics. Option B, stimulates ovulation and maintains the corpus luteum. How many chromosomes does a human gamete have? 46, 46 pairs, 23, 23 pairs. Option C, 23. 23 chromosomes. Which of the following does the testis produce? Capacitated spermatozoa, about 60% of the ejaculate, slightly acidic fluid, physically mature spermatozoa. Option D. What do the thecal cells that surround the follicle produce? Mucus, luteinizing hormone, androgens, estrogens. Option C, androgens. In the sequence of events known as the ovarian cycle, which of the following does not occur? Does not occur. Okay, wow. The anterior pituitary releases FSH and LH. FSH stimulates the follicle to develop. The hypothalamus releases GnRH. The developing follicle produces progesterone. Option D is the correct answer. Next. How do sperm cells differ from the other cells in the male body? They contain 23 chromosomes. They all contain an X chromosome. They all contain an Y chromosome. They undergo mitosis. Option A, they all contain 23 chromosomes. Next. What are ejaculatory ducts? Sorry, where are the ejaculatory ducts? Okay, where are the ejaculatory ducts? In the testis, between the testis and the prostate, within the prostate, between the prostate and the external urethra meatus. Option C, within the prostate. Next. Where does the fertilization of the ovum normally occur? In the cervical canal, in the ovary, in the uterus, in the fallopian tube. Option D, in the fallopian tube. நான் ஆல்ரெடி சொன்ன மாதிரி இது முக்கியமான question. Next, what hormone is released by the corpus luteum in the greatest quantity? Progesterone, estrogens, luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone. Option A, progesterone. Which list of structures in the male reproductive tract has them in the correct sequence? இதுவுமே வந்துட்டு repeated question. Option C, seminiferous tubules, epidermis, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, urethra. Okay, option C. இதுவுமே repeated question. Next, choose the correct statement about LH and FSH. LH targets Leydig cells of the testes which produces testosterone. Option A is the right answer. Next, which cell produce the majority of estrogens? Corpus luteum, anterior pituitary, endometrial cells, granulosa cells of follicle. Option D, granulosa cells of the follicle. Progesterone. To stimulate the development of follicles, maintain the corpus luteum, prepare and maintain the uterus for pregnancy, to stimulate ovulation. Option C, prepare and maintain the uterus for pregnancy. Okay. If a cell is said to be a haploid, what is meant? It has 23 chromosomes. It has chromosomes that all consist of one chromatid. It has the 2n number of chromosomes. It is not a gamete. Option A, it has 23 chromosomes. Haploid, 23 chromosomes. Next, which of the following could be accurately said of oogenesis and sperminogenesis? They both occur after puberty. They both cease after menopause. The former occurs before birth while the latter continues from puberty to death. The former is promoted by FSH while the latter is promoted by LH. Option C தான் வந்து correct answer. Option C is the right answer. Next. Male sterilization, vasectomy, involves the cutting of which tube? Ejaculatory duct, epididymis, urethra, ductus deferens. Another vas deferens. Option D தான் வந்துட்டு answer. Next. Which cells develop into corpus luteum? Granulosa cells, interstitial cells, cells of the anthrax, thecal cells. இதுவும் repeated question. Option A, granulosa cells. What is the function of hormone progesterone? To maintain secondary sex characteristics, to pause meiosis until the ovum is fertilized, to stimulate estrogen production, to prepare the uterus for pregnancy. Option D. இதுவுமே வந்துட்டு repeated question தான். ஆக்சுவலி நிறைய கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வந்து ரிப்பீட்டட் சேம் கொஸ்டின் சேம் கான்செப்ட் தான், ஆனால் அது கேட்குற டைமென்ஷன் ஆங்கிள் மட்டும்தான் வேறு. சரிங்களா? ஸோ கன்ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணிக்க வேண்டாம். விச் ஆஃப் தி ஃபாலோயிங் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ஸ் இஸ் கரெக்ட்? Half of the sperm cells carry a X chromosome and half carry a Y chromosomes. Sperm all carry an X chromosome. Ova all contain Y chromosome. Half of the ova carry X chromosome and half carry Y chromosome. Option C. Half sperm cells carry X and half carry Y chromosomes. Next. From which source does the majority of the volume of male ejaculation come? Epididymis, seminiferous tubules, seminal vesicles, prostate gland. Option C is the right answer. Next. What is the fertilized egg known as? Ovum, zygote, embryo, blastocyst. Option B, zygote. What term is applied to the second 2 weeks of the menstrual cycle? Menses, secretory phase, luteal phase, proliferation. Option B, secretory phase. What is the section of male reproductive tract within which sperm are produced called? இதுவுமே வந்துட்டு continuous repeated question. Option D, seminiferous tubules. Okay, next. Both testosterone and FSH contribute to which of the following effects in the male? Stimulation of sperminogenesis, metabolic rate stimulation, establish and maintain the secondary sex characteristics, stimulation of muscle and bone growth. Option A தான் வந்துட்டு correct answer. Stimulation of sperminogenesis. Next. What is the role of progesterone? To stimulate follicle development, to stimulate maturation of uterine lining, to stimulate oocyte to complete meiosis 1, to stimulate the release of FSH. Option B is the right answer. To stimulate the maturation of uterine lining. Which statement about the granulosa cells is not correct? They produce estrogens and inhibin. They form a single layer around the primary follicle. They form the corpus luteum. One of them will develop into ovum. Option D is the right answer. Next. In the male reproductive tract, where the sperm produced? Again repeated question. Option A, seminiferous tubules. What is the external urethral meatus? Is another name for external urethral meatus, the opening of the tube at the end of the penis. Option B. What is the role of luteinizing hormone in the female? It causes release of FSH from the anterior pituitary. It maintains secondary sex characteristics. It allows the frequency of pulses for GnRH to increase. It causes ovulation. Option D, it causes ovulation. What is the chromosome complement of a sperm? What is the chromosome complement of a sperm? 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs including a pair of Y chromosomes. 46 chromosomes, 22 pairs plus 1 X chromosome and 1 Y. 23 chromosomes including one X chromosome or one Y. 23 chromosomes including one X chromosome and one Y. Correct answer is option C. 23 chromosomes including one X and chromosome or one Y. Next, which of the following statements is incorrect? Corpus luteum releases progesterone, hypothalamus release GnRH, anterior pituitary release FSH, granulosa cells produce androgens. Option D. Repeated question. Okay, next. Which one of the following is true about the secretory phase of the menstrual cycle? It begins at the ovulation and continues while the corpus luteum is intact. Option B. Next. What is the function of epidermis? Production of sperm, stores sperm and facilitates their maturation, stores sperm and produce seminal fluid, carries semen out through the penis. Option B. Stores sperm and facilitates their maturation. Next, in males, what is the function of luteinizing hormone? It stimulates the interstitial cells in the testis to produce testosterone. Option A is the right answer. One of the following is not a function of testosterone. Which one? Stimulates sperminogenesis, maintains secondary sex characteristics, maintains glands of the reproductive tract, stimulates anterior pituitary to release FSH and LH. Correct answer is option D. Stimulates anterior pituitary to release FSH and LH. After ejaculation, sperm travel through the structures of the female reproductive tract in which order? Vagina, cervix, uterus and fallopian tube. Option C. Vagina, cervix, uterus and fallopian tube. What is the name given to a young woman's first menstrual period? Menarche, menses, eclampsia, amenorrhea. Option A. Menarche. The hormone progesterone is released by which structure? Anterior pituitary, corpus luteum, hypothalamus, the adrenal glands. Option B. Corpus luteum. What is the function of follicle stimulating hormone functions in the male? To stimulate the production of sperm, release of testosterone, release of gonadotropin releasing hormone, release of luteinizing hormone. Option A. Production of sperm. Next, what is the result of meiosis in males? The production of one spermatide and 3 polar bodies, one spermatide and 2 polar bodies, 2 primary spermatocytes, 4 spermatocytes. Option D. 4 spermatides. Next, sperm gain motility as they pass through which structure? Lumen of the seminiferous tubule, prostatic part of the urethra, ductus deferens, epidermis. Option B. Prostatic part of the urethra. Which of the following lists the structures of female perineal area? The correct order. Clitoris, urethral opening, vaginal opening, anus. Option B தான் வந்துட்டு correct answer. Clitoris, urethral opening, vaginal opening, anus. What are the phases of ovarian cycle? Ovarian cycle phases, follicular phase and the luteal phase. Option C. Which of the following is not a function of estrogens? Stimulating bone and muscle growth, maintain female secondary sex characteristics, maintaining the corpus luteum, initiating growth and repair of endometrium. Option C. Maintaining the corpus luteum. Option C. Which statement is not correct? Ova in the ovary are continually forming the mitosis. The ovarian follicles are embedded in the ovary cortex. Ovulation is the ejection of an oocyte from the ovary. The corpus luteum develops from the ruptured follicle. Option A. The ova in the ovary are continually forming from mitosis. Which statement is not correct? Testosterone is required to maintain the adult male secondary sex characteristics. Testosterone increases the sex drive in both sexes. Testosterone inhibits the closure of epiphyseal plate in the long bones. Testosterone stimulates the growth and maturation of male genitalia. Option C is the right answer. What does gonadotropin releasing hormone stimulate? Hypothalamus, anterior lobe of pituitary gland, spermatogenesis or oogenesis, the production of testosterone or estrogen. Option B, anterior lobe of pituitary gland. Idume vandu repeated question. Select one incorrect statement from the following. Meiosis results in the reduction of chromosome numbers in the cells from 2n to n. The primordial follicle cells are present in females at birth. Spermatogenesis and oogenesis results in the production of either 4 sperm or 4 ova. Puberty is the time of life when the reproductive organs begin to mature. Option C is the right answer. Okay. Which of the following produces male sex hormones? Same repeated questions. Interstitial cells, corpus luteum, anterior lobe of the pituitary gland, seminal vesicles. Option A, interstitial cells. The menstrual cycle can be divided into 3 phases. Starting from day 1 of the menstruation, which of the following orders are in the phases? Menstrual, proliferative, secretory. Option C is the right answer. Which organ does not add secretion to semen? Testis, prostate gland, penis, seminal vesicles. Option C.